Okay, so we're going to be checking out another debate in the Canadian House of Commons, and this one is Pierre Poilievre claims Justin Trudeau is losing control. Oof, and screaming and hollering. I'm interested to see. It seems there's quite a thing that happens a lot in the House of Commons.
Stop the auto theft that has run rampant under this Prime Minister. He's now throwing a cape over his back, claiming that he's the hero on auto theft, but it's actually tripled in Toronto, and it's up by 100% in Montreal after he brought in catch and release and house arrest for car thieves, and after his incompetence allowed our ports to spin out of control and our cars to be exported to overseas crime and terror networks. Why doesn't he reverse his policies instead of another meeting?
Now, I'll tell you a little bit of, because I had seen the full documentary, yeah? The car theft in Canada, I think particularly was Ontario, is so bad to the level that Ghana, because a lot of these cars, when they're imported, they are shipped almost immediately to the countries that were mentioned were Nigeria, Ghana, United Arab Emirates, and I think Togo was a part of that. But my point is, it was so bad that Ghana was like, Canada has to get their shit together. Like the Ghanaian police officers were like, it's too much coming from Canada. Like Canada has to get their shit together. That's how bad it was. That they were advising Canada, to control it. Not that I'm blaming anybody, I don't know who to blame, but let's hear. Let's see who's going to take the blame.
Networks. Why doesn't he reverse his policies instead of another meeting?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is a serious situation. Canadians are concerned about this. And the Conservative leader just chooses to whip out his empty slogans and continue to blame everyone while we're getting to work. We're pulling together stakeholders and leaders from across the government to look at what more we can do. We've seen successes. CBSA agents have intercepted over 1,600 stolen cars last year in 2023, but there's more to do. We're going to continue to make the steady work and investments necessary to keep Canadians safe and to keep crime down.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
To keep crime down. Crime is way up. Violent crime is up 40% under this Prime Minister. And today he had his ministers hold a big press conference as their solution. And in it, they put out a press release that said, and I quote, in 2022, approximately 9,600 vehicles were stolen in the Toronto area alone, representing a 300% increase since 2015, end quote. Wow. What happened in 2015?
What happened?
I know, he happened, Mr. Speaker. How can we make him unhappen and stop the crime?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, in 2015, Stephen Harper presented a budget that had slashed funds for policing, slashed funds for CBSA officers, slashed funding for Veterans Affairs Services, and we were there to clean up the mess, to cut taxes for the wealthiest 1%, lower them for the middle class, to support families, to start moving forward on gun control in real ways while the Conservatives cozy up to the American gun lobbies. We've continued to step up and keep Canadians safe. Let them bring assault weapons back to our streets. We'll keep Canadians safe.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Wow, is he ever losing control of himself? Oh my goodness. Screaming and hollering like that. Mr. Speaker, it's his press release that says that in Toronto, auto thefts are up 300% since he took office. His solution is to hold a summit. He held a summit on food prices. Food prices went up. He held a summit on housing. Housing costs doubled. How much is crime going to rise after all the bigwigs go to his summit?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition.
But the thing is, though, I feel like, because my mind is positioned in hearing how they can fix this. But I'm not hearing that, though. I'm hearing a debate with people clapping and it's so dramatic and people, beating around the bush a little bit. Auto theft has increased by 300%. What are you doing about it? he said in the first speech, he said that he's held meetings with leaders of the government, and there's been a reduction, or they were able to hold 1,600 cars from, crossing into the other countries or going wherever they send them to. So he said they stopped 1,600 cars. But then the number is still up by 300%. What are you doing today to stop that? For example, in Vancouver, where I live, the insurance is already very high. So imagine if the car theft goes up to 300%. They'll increase it for everybody too. The insurance is going to be a lot higher, which means you can't even pay your insurance. Imagine paying for a car where the interest is very high. Now you're paying for insurance that is also very high. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing. But I'm not hearing the answers. It's like people are dancing a little bit. That's just what I think.
Has trouble believing that we would actually include real facts in our press release, something he and the Harper government never did for years. Yes, Mr. Speaker, there is a real challenge around auto theft in this country, and our solution is to roll up our sleeves, pull together partners from across the country, and get to solving it. His solution: throw his hands up in the air, blame a raft of political attacks on us, and continue to see that he's not putting forward any real solutions, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Stop the...
Okay, roll our hands, get leaders of the government, and solve it. I think that's the solution we get to here. Anyways, let me know what you think about that. If there's anything you want to add, correct, or critique, I can't. I'm not in the government, not yet, so I can't critique the government. I'll assume they know what they're doing. Then I'll think what I think at the back. Or we can have a discussion about it in the comment section. Anyways, feel free to talk to me. If there's anything you want to add, correct, critique, feel free to let me know. But the situation was bad before. Like, the people in Ghana were like, Canada needs to get their shit together. We've been getting too many cars coming from Canada. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.